In the midst of the chilling abyss, where every breath feels like a battle against the elements, one man's diary emerges as a testament to human resilience and survival. Prepare to embark on an extraordinary journey from the relentless Eastern Front to the icy core of war. This is the enthralling narrative of Diary of a German Soldier in the Ice Hell. On December 29th, I noticed the struggles people face when trying to build something in challenging conditions. The frozen ground was like concrete, and it seemed impossible to dig. Our sappers were having a tough time. Every shovel swing barely moved more dirt than what gets stuck under your fingernails. It's puzzling why we didn't take a break back in the autumn when things were easier. There was no formidable enemy around, and we could have prepared for winter. Our supply lines were slow, and we lacked uniforms and winter gear. The Red Army, despite claims, appeared less formidable with heavy weaponry and food shortages. Major victories seemed unlikely. Mistakes might grant temporary success, but we'd regain strength in summer. News from North Africa wasn't promising. The British strengthened and took the offensive. Troops meant for Libya, like the 5th Armoured Division, were redirected. Our hopes now rest with Rommel. On December 30, villagers returned desperate for food, but we held firm, sparing no supplies despite growing threats. On December 31st, a surprising joy, 2 non-commissioned officers and 104 inexperienced soldiers arrived at Mozhaisk Station, most from our regiment, recovering from summer battle wounds. In our warm room, Christmas tree candles flickered against the freezing starry night one last time as officers gathered, discussing the importance of fresh frontline officers and NCOs, and improved training methods for effective replenishment. Here's to the new year, with a glass of Sekt in hand, and hopes for future success. January 1st, 1941 marked the year's beginning at a frigid -32 degrees. Looking back, it's clear that the past year brought countless new experiences and impressions. The year began with a heart-wrenching goodbye, and fond memories include time in France, cozy evenings, and a visit to Paris. However, the reality of the march towards the Russian border fell short of our expectations. January 2nd brought a severe frost, but Valinki helped keep feet warm, albeit in short supply. Frostbite cases are improving, and warm clothing is on the way, albeit with a delay. January 3rd sees us preparing for a new march in challenging conditions, raising questions about the potential advantages and disadvantages. January 4, a milder -19 degrees today, making me yearn for spring. Reports from a few days ago mentioned battles on the Central Front and in Crimea, highlighting our lack of reserves and a significant leadership error. Tank specialists are being diverted to unfamiliar hand-to-hand combat, leaving doubts about who will service the tanks when needed. Morale and discipline issues are emerging, affecting the regiment's cohesion. January 5. The snowy month begins with light frosts, and we expect heavy snowfalls soon. The political grounds for attacking Moscow this late in winter are questionable. We speculate that Japan's successes in the East are indirectly benefiting us by disrupting American military aid to England. January 6. A visit to a battalion's dressing station revealed soldiers suffering from abscesses due to lice bites and poor hygiene. Conditions have prevented underwear changes for months. One soldier had severe calf wounds due to chafing from long johns. January 11. The past days at the front lines have been relatively uneventful, with occasional enemy mortar fire and isolated Russian snipers. Tragically, Captain Muller was wounded during a position round and later succumbed to his injuries. Battles in Rozhev and Kaluga have intensified, and we're unsure whether we'll remain in our current position or advance further. January 14. It's -21 degrees, and we're still uncertain about our next move. Constantly changing orders and lack of clarity make our situation difficult. January 16. We begin an advance, reclaiming lost positions, but snowfall could complicate our movements in the cold. January 18. A fire disrupts our sleep, forcing us to relocate. Frustrations rise as nothing seems to go smoothly in the freezing conditions. January 19. We swiftly arrived at Golovino, where I had to prepare a room. As I crossed the front line, thoughts about trenches and wire fences filled my mind. I wondered about the purpose of it all. The sky had turned blood red in many places yesterday. as villages were set ablaze to deny warmth and supplies to advancing Reds. January 20, the temperature plummeted to -40 degrees, and the biting cold pierced through my layers. Our rear guard returned mostly unharmed, except for a few frostbite cases. The majority of our division regiments are retreating. January 21, venturing ahead to the village of Baranovo, I enjoyed the independence it offered. Troop shifting was relatively smooth, and the soldiers were eager to move back. I had a chance to secure a few cows, a precious cargo. If you're hooked on this chilling diary, as we are, drop a like and subscribe for more icy tales from history. Don't forget to share this video with friends who share your passion for history. Stay tuned, there's more frosty drama ahead. January 22, passing through the once muddy Krushevska Stadium, I cautiously made my way to the highway, encountering abandoned trucks, and even finding a knapsack and carbine in one of them. Some areas bore the scars of destroyed communication poles and houses. January 24, in chilling -35-degree weather, we continued building and improving positions while dealing with endless phone conversations, planning orders, and engaging in discussions. The house had become a bustling command center. January 28, the 10th Company bravely fended off enemy counterattacks during the night, and the morning reports were unclear. I headed to the front line, witnessing silhouettes of the fallen in the snow and the grim aftermath of battle. January 29, the temperature dropped to -15 degrees, and snowfall persisted, making roads and tracks impassable. People and horses struggled through snowdrifts, sinking deep. Supplies and mobility were severely hampered. January 30, at -19 degrees, we prepared for a new position, constructing dugouts and communication routes. Despite the blizzard, sappers boldly installed wire barriers at night. A speech by the Führer boosted our spirits, heralding the approach of spring and emphasizing the challenges we face. February 1. A relentless blizzard blanketed the landscape, making travel by vehicle or skis impossible. Communication was only feasible through marked paths. Supplies and ammunition were increasingly scarce. February 2. Heartbreaking news arrived, as we lost vital supplies in a fire due to a soldier's negligence. The loss included personal belongings, adding to the hardship we endured. February 3. Stuck in my house alone, I reflected on recent challenges, the shortage of reinforcements, and the strained command environment. I planned to expand my knowledge through reading once circumstances allowed. February 5. Alone in the house, I observed the serene winter landscapes and contemplated post-war education and personal growth. February 12. The neighboring division struggled to contain an enemy breakthrough, despite smokescreens, assault aviation, and tanks. We were tasked with assembling and making a move to assist, further complicating the situation. February 17. The enemy's persistent breakthrough efforts continued, causing chaos as we hastily responded. Shelling disrupted our routines, leaving us to pick up the pieces. The diary ended abruptly, and the fate of the writer remained uncertain. He was killed near Smolensk, in the village of Oshepkovo. The circumstances surrounding his death remained uncertain. If you've been as frozen in awe as we have by this chilling account, hit that like button and freeze your subscription. Stay tuned for more epic historical tales, and remember to share the frosty love with your history-loving friends. Until next time, stay cool.